All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about an absolutely wild conversation about Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, Frank Martin by a young, up-and-coming former Olympic, I do believe, silver medalist, Keyshawn Davis, who just went off. But a lot of interesting things in it and good points to be made. So let's have that conversation in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, talking about a young man who seemed to have lost his better senses yesterday. Talking a lot of stuff, man, a lot of stuff. And Keyshawn Davis, very, very good fighter out of the top-ranked stable. Close friends, apparently, with Shakur Stevenson, was the co-main event on the fight card that Shakur Stevenson had against Robson Conceição last Friday night. And it seems as if he released a lot of feelings about Errol Spence Jr. and about Rolly Romero and Frank Martin. Now, before I get into this, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your support. Hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. Also, there is a new way to support the channel called Super Thanks. It's down at the bottom. If you're so inclined, it would be appreciated. So let's get into this, man. Errol Spence Jr. put out a tweet the other day, and the tweet simply said, Frank Martin is like that. I saw the tweet and I thought to myself, yeah, Frank Martin is like that. Frank Martin is a lightweight contender. I think his last fight was on the undercard of Mark Magsayo's first title defense against Ray Vargas in San Antonio, Texas. I was actually ringside for that fight. Got to see Frank Martin, southpaw, very good counterpuncher, strong and great condition. Winds up getting a knockout. That was the fight that I went to go see. Now, there was the main event, and the main event was a lot of fun, but the guy that stood out to me was Frank Martin. And Frank Martin is promoted by Errol Spence Jr.'s Man Down promotion and trained by Derek James. So when I saw this, saw Errol Spence Jr. say Frank Martin is like that, I thought to myself, yeah, okay, good job. You're promoting your fighter, right? Now, this is in the midst of a lot of other lightweight drama going on. Drama. Drama is fair to say, because you have Shakur Stevenson, who missed weight and is now moving up to 135 pounds. You have Devin Haney coming up next month, October 15th, and he is fighting for he's defending his undisputed title in a rematch against George Kambosos in Australia. And then, of course, you've got Gervonta Davis, there's a lot of conversation going on about who he's going to fight next, and a whole lot of people attaching their fighter's name to Gervonta. At least that's the way that I see it. Understand there's legitimate criticisms for the way that these fights are developing for Gervonta. I just think that the same criticism can be held for everybody else in that division. So for me, it's a wash. But Keyshawn Davis just went on and took it like way out there, like way out there, man. I was watching this guy like, man, are you okay? Like, you got to put down that coffee, man. I don't know what he's on, man, but he was amped to the hilt. So what he says about, he goes in on Errol Spence, amongst a lot of other things. Went in on Rolly Romero, talking about how he punked Rolly Romero in the gym, and he would beat Rolly Romero outside the ring, inside the ring, or whatever. But then he goes in on Errol Spence Jr. and says, yeah, calls him scary, says, yeah, if you think Frank Martin's like that, if you think Frank Martin is like that, then, I got a guy for you too. Now, my thing was, when I listened to him say it, I was like, man, how do you know Errol Spence Jr. is talking about you? Frank Martin is not, I don't think Frank Martin is aiming at Keyshawn Davis. Frank Martin, I do believe, is trying to get a fight with either Rolly Romero or maybe somebody like Isak Cruz, somebody that is a more of a developed lightweight, right? Not somebody like Keyshawn Davis himself said was 6-0, right? Like a guy that is at least 5 or 6 fights away from being at that caliber of fighter. Now, as far as the fight goes between Frank Martin and Keyshawn Davis, I'm gonna tell you right now, Keyshawn Davis needs to stay away from Frank Martin for a while, because Frank Martin at this stage, man, will beat Keyshawn Davis. And judging off of that last fight, which Keyshawn Davis admitted wasn't his best performance, said, he could have turned it up on the guy at any point in time. He was just boxing the guy and really didn't even try to knock him out. The guy just walked into a right hand. Fair enough, man. However, man, this guy, Frank Martin, is not out there playing, man. And if you are of the mindset that you are playing with fighters and you are just, kind of in there sparring with them or doing whatever, dude, maybe that's part of the maturity process that you need to go through, because, these guys aren't playing with their food. Generally speaking, unless you're somebody like, man, I don't even know anybody that should be playing with food in a boxing ring. If you can get that guy out of there, you need to go get that guy out of there. The fact that you're saying you're letting him go longer and not really focused in the fight and just kind of out there sparring because you can knock him out at any point in time, that is a little bit of a sign of where you need to develop a little bit more and go ahead and get that done. But when he lit off on Errol Spence Jr. about how Errol Spence Jr., I don't think he called him PUSSY, but it was something real close to that. Called him scary, right? Gave him the same nickname that he had given Rolly Romero, called him Sweetie or whatever. Man, Keyshawn, man, you need to slow your roll. Like really seriously need to slow your roll, man. Seek something that's going to keep your head in between your ears. Now, I know a little bit about Keyshawn Davis's prior history. I also, because I had the same history and have experienced some of the same things, when I'm literally saying to him, man, you better make sure you make something, you talking to somebody that can keep your head in between your ears, I literally mean you need to sit down and talk to somebody to make sure you can keep your brain in between your ears, man, your mind between your ears, because what he was going off on right there, man, just sounded real, a little way too much, man. Now, Keyshawn, I can't speak on what Keyshawn will do, as a lightweight contender. I'm high on him. However, I'm not going to say that I think that he is, is somebody that is going to be like, he's not ready for Vasily Lomachenko. He's now burnt. Like Bomac said, hey, if my guy says I'm ready, he's ready. He says he's ready. Hey, man, I'm down for it. Then we're ready. But the matchmakers, I think the matchmakers at Top Rank are going to think better than that. And also with the build of Keyshawn Davis. And I do believe Keyshawn Davis's last fight was at like 136. I think he weighed in something like 136.5 or something like that, like a pound and a half. I don't think that fight was even really at the lightweight limit. I'll tell you, man, look, you need to be a little bit careful with that, man. As far as Errol Spence Jr. being scared of Terence Crawford or Terence Crawford being scared of Errol Spence Jr., man, I just think that that's silly. These dudes, just like Leonard Ellerby said on one of his tweets yesterday about, whether or not Shakur or any of these guys would be scared to fight each other. No, I don't. None of these guys are scared to fight each other. And none of these guys are soft like that, in my opinion. But, Keyshawn just kind of makes me wonder, man, if he's kind of, that sounded a little bit much, my friend. It sounded a little bit much. You may want to slow your roll before that starts coming out and and causing you problems down the line. That sounded like it was totally nothing to do with what Errol Spence Jr. was talking about. Errol, there's all kind of conversations going on about the top lightweights, and I doubt very much that Errol was out there trying to plug Frank Martin against Keyshawn Davis, where he's more than likely thinking about guys again like Rolly Romero, Isak Cruz, guys that are at that level so that he can then get up and fight the champions. He's more than likely not referring to a guy that is 6-0. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.